and welcome to Kinda Keto with Donna. On my channel, I do some cooking videos, some budgeting tips, some cooking tips, some grocery hauls, some keto inspiration to share with you from my journey on my keto and low-carb lifestyle. Well, today is going to be a cooking video, and I wanted to make some bagels. Now, I have traditionally made them with the fathead dough. And although I think those are really good, as a matter of fact, I have a I have a video of that, and I do really like them. However, I kind of was, you get the fathead dough with the cheese and cream cheese, and then you put in cream cheese and maybe some sort of sugar-free jam on there or something like that. And, it's kind of a lot of cheese. So I was on the lookout for, I was looking around for a non-fathead dough version, and I believe I have found it. Follow along with me, and I'll show you how easy it is to make. So I found a dairy-free keto bagels from mypcoskitchen.com, which of course I will leave a link in the description. Well, here are the ingredients you are going to need for it. So we're going to start off with some almond flour. And we have a little mixture of almond and coconut flour. The big thing with a lot of these type of bread things is some psyllium husk. This is the whole psyllium husk, but I needed some ground, so I had some leftover last time I ground it. Just throw it in the NutriBullet or something like that, or a little coffee grinder. Whoops. A little baking powder and baking soda. A little bit of pink salt. Some almond milk, some coconut oil. Now, it calls for refined coconut oil. I always buy the unrefined, and I've made this several times, and it's fine. So I do usually melt it first and let it cool slightly when I'm ready to use it. I get the organic from Aldi. It's the best price. It's cold-pressed virgin oil, unrefined. And a little apple cider vinegar, another use for apple cider vinegar. You also need some eggs. It calls for 3 egg whites and 2 whole eggs. And I've left them out a little bit. It's always good to have room temperature eggs when you're baking anything. Now, you don't want to waste anything, so I saved my egg yolks, and I was just going to add it, here and there to some scrambled eggs, but 3 egg yolks is exactly what I need to make some homemade hollandaise sauce. And we were having salmon tonight, so I'm going to make hollandaise sauce to go with the salmon. All right, so we're going to start off with the dry ingredients, like a lot of baking. So this is a 1.5 cups of the almond flour, which I did sift, and a 1/4 cup of the coconut flour. And then I've got my ground psyllium husk, and that is only 2 tablespoons. So it's not, psyllium husk is not very expensive, and you don't need much of it in ingredients. So I think it's definitely a good investment. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that. And then we've got baking powder. That's 1.5 teaspoons. 1.5 teaspoons, I make sure it's teaspoons, of the baking powder. Sure I'm not getting it confused, because only 1/2 teaspoon of the baking soda. So 1/2 of that. 1/2. That's done. 1/2 teaspoon of the salt. I just took the lid off. Salt. Now, it asks for also a teaspoon of roasted garlic and roasted onion. I'm not doing that. That's not something I have on hand. I like to do recipes of most things I have on hand. And the only thing you might not have on hand here is a psyllium husk. But if you're going to make more than 1 batch of this in your lifetime, definitely get that. And you're just going to whisk that together. Whiskey, 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 whiskey. You have to boil some water in the meantime, so I've got that on the stove. We're going to need 5 tablespoons of boiling water. But in the meantime, we are going to start mixing some of the wet ingredients. You got the egg whites, got the 2 whole eggs, the coconut oil. Like I said, I just did like 30 seconds in the microwave and let it cool for a few minutes. That's there. Whee. Okay, the almond milk. Yeah, I just noticed it's vanilla. Oh well, so I'll have sweet bagels. I usually get unsweetened. I mean, it's still unsweetened, but I usually don't get the vanilla. But that's okay. And it's 3, 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of the almond milk. And just 1 tablespoon. We shake it up. I get the good apple cider vinegar with the mother. So just 1 tablespoon of that. Alrighty, and then we're going to mix that together with a rubber spatula before we worry about the water. That's what our dough looks like so far, all mixed up, really, really easy. And I'm going to bring the water over. And it's 5 tablespoons, which guess what, equals 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon. That'll be a little easier. So I'm doing 1/4 cup. Then we got coconut flour in there. This looks like it's going to be too wet, but it does work out. And another tablespoon. That's our hot water. And just keep mixing. And the water is going to get absorbed by all the flours and psyllium husk. And you think it looks like it's too wet, but boom, it's just looking lovely. I'm going to start preheating my oven. We've already got dough. Are you ready to make some bagels? Now this recipe calls for to make 8 bagels. I don't make 8, I make 6. I like my bagels big. So depending on how much the macros you're looking at, I still find it's fine for me. Just guesstimating here, and then I'll see what they look like instead of making all of them first, and rob Peter to pay Paul if I need to. It's really not that sticky. It's a little sticky, so you could use a little avocado oil on your hands. I do, like you have seen before, wearing gloves for a lot of things. And then if you just go back and forth, it's really not that sticky. Alright, so that's my big 6. And then I'm just going to see how they look. Okay, so that one's way big. Put that over there. Put that one on there. Oh, that one looks a little big. Put that one over there. That one looks a little small. Put that one over there. Alright, let's see how we're looking now. What do you think? There. Now they suggest rolling it into a long log and then kind of piecing it together. Well, I saw this somewhere. I like this way better. It's more fun. That's why I make my little balls, stick my finger in, and make a hole. Boom! We got a hole. Now, this is going to come together when it cooks, so the hole will get smaller and smaller. So you do want some hole, but I don't want too big a hole because I want more room for putting my toppings on. I'm going to kind of squish them down a little bit. And then you can top them if you want. Everyone's into this everything bagel seasoning. I'll put it on 2, but I'm not that big a fan. And then you could put a little bit of oil on it to make it stick. Or they have like an egg wash with some more of the hot water and some egg. I don't do that. So here's a little water, and a little everything bagel. I'll give that one to my husband. So I'll make 2. Or you could put a little cinnamon in there. So I'll put cinnamon on 2 of those. Then you could play with it. I just sometimes like a plain bagel. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There we go. And 2 plain. Dude, love that smell of cinnamon. Okay, and we are ready to go into the oven. So we're going to put it in a 375-degree oven for about 23 minutes, obviously, with your oven. Double check it, check it at 20 minutes or 18 minutes and see how they're coming along. They should come out nice and golden brown. Okay, for the macros, for the way I did it, now again, this recipe calls for 8 bagels. I made 6. Now for 6 bagels, according to my carb manager, each bagel is 308 calories, 10 grams of protein, 26 grams of fat, 11 total carbs, with 7 grams of fiber from the psyllium husk. So it's 4 grams net carbs for one bagel if you do 6 instead of 8. And just look at the difference of ingredients between these bagels and keto bagels that you're going to find in a store. And another great thing is, that's why I make a batch. I might have 2 in a week, and then the rest I freeze, and they freeze wonderfully. And when they come out, you let them, defrost in the fridge overnight. It's just like having a fresh bagel. They toast well, they freeze well, they hold up to like smearing some cream cheese on them. I really love these. Alrighty, it actually took the full 23 minutes. There we go. See, now, I've never done it with the egg wash, but I just don't feel it needs it. Look at that beautifully golden brown on the bottom. It's not soft. Oh, these are awesome. So just going to let them cool, and then I have bagel. Hey, it's the next day, and I am ready for some breakfast. Got myself my bagel, and just to show you, it cuts real nice. It's got a really good texture. Just popped up. It toasts well, and I like mine lightly toasted, so it's not excuse me, golden brown. But I don't want a golden brown, so I just want a little warm. But see, it doesn't fall apart. That's kind of my point. And I left the cream cheese out a little bit just to make it a little softer. It holds together well. Putting heavy cream cheese on there. And break. How do you like my plate? It's a smiley face. So sometimes I do a little good jam. It's stevia sweetened. You don't want to use too much of it, but that's really good. Usually when I get a jar, it's kind of pricey. I will put some in the freezer so I don't use the whole thing. And breakfast is served. I have had these before, and I do know I like them, but just to show you, it holds up well. Now, it's not going to obviously have that chew of a New York bagel. I'm not fooling myself, but I really love these. Like I said, it holds up well, freezes well, easy to do, and tastes really good. So you should try it. You're keto or low carb. What kind of bagels do you like? Do you like the Fathead bagels? Have you tried any of these type of dairy-free bagels? I just love this recipe. Leave me a comment and tell me what you like on your bagel even. Are you a Nova Scotia lox type of fan? Sometimes I'll do peanut butter and a sugar-free jelly, cream cheese and jelly, just cream cheese. Ooh, and then in the fall I make pumpkin cream cheese, and that's really good too. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And until next time, bye.